Ho, ho, ho. I'm here to bring you some Christmas cheer. I'm Mr. Church. And I hope you guys are excited to hear some good news, because guess what Bethesda has been fixing in the camp? If you guessed the atrium floor, that's not it. This is still broken. This is still very broken. No, remember when we used to be able to build things with these posts? Like, put posts up in the camp to hold things up as structural support? Remember when we could put these things, these gantries in the sky, make floating bases, feel joy in our hearts? Do you remember that? It was a fun time, wasn't it? Oh yeah, you can't do that anymore. Remember when we could stack posts on top of each other? So what I'm looking for. Posts, yes. Just like post would stack, and then you could clip things to the side of it. Well, you can't do that anymore. And I thought you guys would be very pleased to hear that. This is good news. Christmas time is here, and Bethesda is bringing us an early Christmas gift of breaking the goddamn game. And when I say breaking the game, I mean there are ways that we can still build floating camps, but what about your structural support? What about your happiness? What about your peace of mind? I don't think so, Bethesda. I don't think so. You're trying to tell me that a post can't snap on top of a post? That's literally what you use a post for. What the fuck else am I gonna do with one story of a post? I'm sorry, this is not Christmas cheer. Let me find my Christmas cheer voice. My Christmas cheer voice is in the garbage. That's right, I forgot. I fixed it, which means I threw it away. Anyway, I played around in a workshop today. When I say play, I mean I labored in vain. It was joyless, and I nearly had an aneurysm, to see if there was some way that we could salvage some semblance of human decency. And there is a technically way you can make these float still, but you can't put them up in the sky, because you can't stack posts on top of each other. These posts will only snap to the top of a foundation. That's moronic. Now, you can still make the typical floating building using the roofs that we've been able to do since the days of our dearly beloved Jug. Please come back. Ever since you left, this game has fucking died. I'm just kidding, guys. This game has never flourished more. I don't want you guys to think that I'm unhappy or ungrateful. This is probably the best news I've heard since we won the war. What war, do you ask? Well, pick one. And I just want to spend this time. Now, there obviously are ways that you can still build the traditional floating camp, but not in the same way you used to, and not with the same amount of freedom. Because you can no longer stack posts, and because you can no longer put posts on top of an upper floor, because you can no longer snap posts in midair, you really have to rely on terrain, or your built floating structure is only going to be exactly one floor, floating off the ground, or one post, if you will. The thing I'm most pissed off about, though, when I really stop and think about it, oh yeah, you can also use a ramp to get a little bit more height, but that's really that's it. That's all she wrote, to borrow the colloquialism. And then you can do this traditional shit, and etc, etc. But the thing that I'm most pissed off about is a lot of times I'll be walking around and I encounter someone who has a base that's held up by exactly one stair. And I say to them, please, for the love of the Queen, may she live forever. And by the way, she's on track to do just that. Please, put some goddamn posts around your build to make it look like, we appreciate the fact that physics exists as a science that man has studied, and that your base is not being held up by a flimsy pair of Adam Shop stairs. And they say to me, well, I don't know how to snap them on. And I say, that's fair, Bethesda fucking ruined the game. And shot us in the nuts. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Hope this cheered you all up as much as it cheered me up. I'm Mr. Church. Like, subscribe so you can see if I can still make a single base now that Bethesda completely fucked my ass. And Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, of course.